Welcome to the City of Daly City Library Board of Trustees regular meeting for Tuesday, October 17th, 2023, here at City Hall Council of Chambers. To watch the live cast, you can tune on to Comcast Channel 27, or you can go to YouTube, Daly City Video Meetings, or you can go to the Daly City website. For those who want to participate, you can either submit a comment in writing or visit the government website and complete the public comment form. And to speak at the meeting in person, please complete the speaker card located at the entrance of the City Council chambers and submit the staff member as early in the meeting as possible. Persons with disabilities who require auxiliary aids or services in attending or participating in this meeting should call the office of the city clerk. Okay, call to order. I'm sorry. Okay, call to order. Okay, pledge to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball. Okay. Now the approval of the agenda, approval of minutes. Where? I didn't see that. Okay. Oh, there you go. God, I can't believe it. Okay, roll call.
All right. Trustee Goodman?
Present.
Trustee Trunco?
Present.
Vice President Lex? And President Pacheco.
Present.
And Trustee Lugarto will join us shortly.
And by proxy. Okay, so next will be the approval of minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented. Excuse me.
The agenda.
Okay,
Agenda.
approval of
Thank
the
you.
agenda. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
God darn it. I'm sorry. Okay, the approval of agenda.
I move that the agenda be approved as presented.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now the approval of minutes.
I move that the minutes be approved as submitted.
I will second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, regular meeting of September 19, 2023. Public comment. Speakers, okay, a speaker,
There was no online submitted public comment.
none? Okay. All right, so now we move on to the presentation. Report from the Daly City Public Library Associates, DCPLA. Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
Excuse me, let me get one.
Good evening, President Pacheco and the entire Library Board of Trustees. Thanks so much for having me. Tricia De Vera, Vice President for the Daly City Public Library Associates. This evening, I'd like to report out a few things that DCPLA has been up to. As mentioned in the last Library Board of Trustees meeting attended by President Monica DeVincenzi, DCPLA hosted our second annual Art and Lit Fest at the Saramonte Center that was on Saturday, September 9th, 2023. She didn't have the total monies raised as we were still pending some funds coming through, but as of today, the total that we raised was $14,300 in sponsorships, and we also received an in-kind donation from Saramonte Center and $500 donation from the Music City Entertainment to put towards our live music sets from, if you were there, Dos Bandoleros and Rochelle Scales, who was our keyboard performer. So we really appreciate those donations. We didn't match from last year's donations, but we were pretty close. So hopefully next year we can do a lot better with the help of everybody. So the plan for next year is already in the works with the help of the Library Board of Trustees. We would love to have your support in trying to round up new sponsors. With the support of the current sponsors we've had in the last 2 years, we greatly appreciate them stepping up. But we would love to get new sponsors involved and just get the word out. So we've got another year to go, but the planning starts now. So as much as possible, we'd love to get your support for the next go around. October 7th, the Daly City Recreation hosted their annual Kasayahan sa Daly City and partnered with DCPLA operating the beer garden with the beer donated by Gilman Brewery. Daly City Rec and DCPLA split the proceeds, which allowed DCPLA to make $834 going towards the libraries, and Recreation is using their funds towards scholarships. So that was a great success. Thank you to the DCPLA directors, myself, Amy Hayes, Mark Johnson, Clayton Koo, and of course Victoria Magbilang for volunteering that day. It was a great day. I don't know if you guys went out there, but it was a great day. We had great weather. So that was a big plus for us on the beer garden, to say the least. Let's see, the DCPLA is launching, okay, so last but not least, DCPLA is launching our 2024-2025 Daly City Youth Poet Laureate program in partnership with the National Youth Poet Laureate Program by Urban Word and Daly City Public Library. This program celebrates teen poets who live or attend school in Daly City and exhibits a commitment to artistic excellence, civic engagement, leadership, and social justice. For those folks at home watching tonight, the winner for the 2024-2025 will receive a $2,500 honorarium. VIP status to represent Daly City at community events between May 2024 and May 2025. All program applicants are provided opportunities to be mentored by accomplished adult poets from around the San Mateo County. If they are interested, please submit 5 original pieces with your application, which can be found on our dcpla.org website by January 31, 2024. And to the board, please share our post on social media with eligible teens that you may know, because it's just so hard to reach out to the teens. They're kind of in their own world, and social media is really their backdrop. So as much as possible, we're encouraging people just to post it all over your social media accounts to encourage our teens in our own backyard to participate. We've got a lot of artists, teen artists around, and this is a great platform for them. So please. We ask that the Daly City community, as well as our own Library Board of Trustees, to please support our program and mail in your dues if you have not. It's never too late. So if you're not currently a member, please go to our website, dcpla.org, and go to the donate link on the top right-hand corner, which will take you to our membership link where you can sign up. Again, all the membership funds go straight back to the libraries. And I think that's all I have for this evening. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I was just wondering, who is eligible to submit an application as the Daly City Youth Poet Laureate?
So that is predominantly in the high school setting is what we're looking for. So freshmen through senior year, preferably we'd like freshmen, sophomore, seniors, because freshmen, sophomore, juniors, because with the senior, usually they're overloaded with college applications and so forth. I don't discourage it at all, but it may be a little bit too much for them with the responsibilities that they have to carry as a poet laureate, because we really want them to represent our Daly City in a big way. And so there are a lot of responsibilities behind that.
So which high schools would be eligible, so to speak?
All the high schools in the Jefferson Unified, there you go.
So would that just be Westmore and
Jefferson.
Jefferson?
So it'd be Westmore, Jefferson, Oceana, and Terra Nova, and
Thornton.
and was it Thornton? Yes.
So it would
Sorry.
be people who are young people who live in Daly City or go to
Attend school here in Daly City.
the city schools. Yeah.
Well, I guess my next question then is, would we consider Colma, since we do serve Colma residents and include El Camino High School?
That hasn't been in a discussion. However, South San Francisco has their own youth poet laureate, so they would fall into that category.
Okay,
Because El Camino is South San Francisco; it's not Colma.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just see it, when I drive up.
Strategically, yes. When you're driving
It's
by,
on the
you're
left.
Colma, and then there's El Camino, right?
Right.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
South San Francisco does have their own youth poet laureate,
Thanks for the clarification.
of course. Any other questions?
No.
No. Okay. How are you, Angela? Nice to see you. Thanks very much. Have a great evening.
Okay, you too, Patricia. It was nice seeing you again.
You too.
Okay, so now we go on to the next director's report, departmental reorganization.
Thank you so much. So I believe I announced this under announcements and communications at the last meeting. We were anticipating the city council would be entertaining a proposal to reorganize the Department of Library and Recreation Services into two separate departments. This is really a restoration because for most of the history that at least that I recall, the library was its own department, and there was, of course, library, Park and Rec, as everyone knows, Park
Right.
and Rec. So for anyone who wasn't around for these changes, in 2011, in response to fiscal challenges, it was very much a response to fiscal challenges facing the city. There was a reorganization where Parks was joined with the Public Works Department, which makes a lot of sense because they do share a facility with the courtyard and a lot of the same equipment, and they do similar work. And then Recreation Services and the Public Library were merged, and really the big thrust of it was just that it reduced the executive level management positions, saving the city money. So there'd be just one director rather than two directors and an assistant director. There was an assistant director in Recreation. And then in the very beginning, we had a director who was actually acting. She was the assistant city manager, so it also, and that wasn't backfilled, so there were additional savings there. And then a permanent director was appointed. And then, so you cut to 2020, and our permanent director opted to retire, and he's doing well and happy in retirement, I'm sure. But given the uncertainty of that time, 2020, it was decided that the position wouldn't be immediately filled. So it's been vacant ever since then, since 2020. And then at the September 25th council meeting, the council voted to restore the two separate department structure. It took effect immediately upon their vote, but of course, as with anything, it takes some time. We're currently in a little bit of a transition phase, and most of the things that we're attending to are very trivial things like, oh, we're going to need new business cards that say the new name rather than Library and Recreation Services. This change actually did save some funds for the city, but that wasn't the purpose of it. But by eliminating the combined department head position, which was still in the budget even though it was unfilled, and then eliminating the division manager positions and just having two department heads, it saved money. One other thing that I don't want to get overlooked was that it also had the effect of creating a administrative assistant 2 position in the library. And currently, or previously in the budget, we had 25% of an administrative assistant that was based out of the recreation admin office, and the staff there are absolutely amazing, but they were primarily assigned for recreation work, and so everything they did we really appreciated, but it's not the same thing as having somebody really dedicated and at a library. So I'm looking forward to that change. I think that will be a huge thing. I'm hoping that the public probably will not find any impact to services. We will continue, of course, to work with our colleagues in recreation services. We love them. We will go to their big events, and they've supported us. They supported the DCPLA's Art and Lit Fest to a great extent. So we hope to continue doing that. I know library staff will be at Trunk or Treat this weekend. So you shouldn't really see much in the way of an impact to services. But I think it's nice to have the Daly City Public Library as a standalone department again. And to kind of put those, there was a series, this was one of a series of reductions that were made during that great recession period. And so it's nice to feel like we've come out of that to some degree. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an update because it's one of those things that it's a big deal, but not necessarily from a practical side. Just administrative.
But good to know, though.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we're excited. We
Yeah.
go in and rearrange things on the website and
Yeah.
just all those little details.
Yeah.
There's some, I mean, this change was made in 2011, and people still say Parks and Rec, because it just rolls off the tongue. So I think everyone will adjust to this again very easily. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Chayla?
Yeah. Did you all hire an administrative assistant already, or is it somebody who's existing?
No, we have not. It's a new position, so we'll probably, because we don't actually yet have a department head, so we'll probably wait till that's filled, and then we will, we'll do either an internal promotional recruitment or possibly a full recruitment, depending on what we think will get the best pool for us.
Yeah. So the open positions would be department head and administrative assistant, and then
And
for
the-
Parks and Rec would be like the equivalent?
So in recreation, they have filled their department head position with somebody that's probably familiar to all of you, the amazing Denise Brown. And then I didn't mention it just because it's really nothing to do with the library, but there was one additional change that was made actually there's a couple different changes that were made to some senior services positions on that recreation side. So I can forward you a link to the staff report if you're interested. But the food services manager position was created, and which is excellent because they do so much to feed people. And then a couple of active adult senior services positions were modified. So good changes.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Chayla? No? Okay. So now we go to number 4, library board online presence.
Yeah, so I took the privilege of putting this on here because it's something we haven't talked about in a very long time, but it has come before the board in the past. And there's one main part of it, and that is going to be what's on our website. So I'm actually going to move over to the computer so that I can show you that. Let's open up ours first. So on the city's website, there is a link on what we call the mega menu, the main menu, to a page for the Library Board of Trustees. We also provide this link from within the section that's just library content. It goes to the same place, and you'll see that it lists all of you as members, as well as when your term expires. It does have a brief overview of the mission and some critical links, and then down at the bottom, this is on all of the commission pages. You'll find this is a feed from our meeting management system, so it just has links to all of the upcoming public meetings, things that are handled by the meeting management system. And then over on the side, I have a link here that goes to an email. And if somebody were to email that, I would, if it's assuming it's not spam, I share it with the board. It's not used very frequently, but it's available, and you can let people know that they can reach you that way. And then you'll notice that Vice President Lex has a hyperlink by his name, and if you click on it, it goes to a brief biography. And at one point, I think a lot of our members had this, but we've had some turnover over the years, and so currently he's the only one. But I just wanted to bring that up to see if others would like to submit content. We've also in the past had like a little headshot. Not necessarily everyone wanted to do that, but you're certainly welcome to do that. And I had kind of bookmarked a bunch of what other libraries are doing. And I just to show you what other things might be possible. I was surprised. A lot of the libraries in the peninsula have something very similar to what we have. This is Menlo Park. Menlo Park, oddly, they all have their personal emails listed. I'm gonna go ahead and recommend against doing that. I think that it will result in a lot of spam for you. And then just as we do the roles and responsibilities and some information about the commission priorities, here's listed, and I could do this on ours as well. Nick is their staff liaison because they also actually have a combined department. Nick is the assistant library director. Lovely gentleman. And then, let's see, South San Francisco. You can see those familiar dots. I think they use the same system we use for their website. It lists the the date and time of the meeting, and you'll notice their location, which is interesting, is at the library. I thought that was nice. Lists their members, doesn't actually list their terms, which I thought was interesting, and then a little bit about the board in general, but they don't seem to have anything they do. Never mind. I'm sorry. I forgot these ones do. They have a meet the board as well. And here you can see this might actually be the most effective way to do things is keep it all on one page. It's kind of nice. It's short, something short, but a little bit about the person and also maybe what motivated them to want to be on the library board. And I can send you all these links if you want to peruse them at a later date. Also, the agendas and minutes are there. Ours are also there. They're just done through that system, the content management system. And then Burlingame. Burlingame has 2 pages on theirs. And so here's one that's, this is, as I mentioned, it's under the library's website. And it has, it's about governance, and it includes some real basic information about the board, and then also the specific members of the board. Again, a little headshot and a very brief bit of biographical information for them. Let's see. And then, much like the way our website is, they also have under their main government page, commissions, they have a page there that has information about links to the agendas and minutes, a little information about the nature of the board, and then also some of these have active links. It looks like this person doesn't have an active link, and a specific email link. And San Mateo City Library only has the 1 page, and it's very similar to ours. As you can see, they have a board email address, which is what we do. A little about the board as a body, specifically the meeting scheduling and all that. And like us, those sorts of things are established in the municipal code. And then just the list of board members. So they have less, I think, or the similar amount of information that we have. I thought Redwood City was particularly had I think a lot of information fleshed out on theirs. So they actually also had 2. This one right here, this page is within their library department section. It has a little headshot about them, a little bit of the duties and responsibilities of boards, of this board, a list of their members, and a way to reach them, and their staff liaison is their director. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up.
Is that library board picks of banned books? Is that something that they added to their page?
Yes, I was actually going to mention that in the second part. This something that really struck me and actually started this whole thought process for me anyway, was that I was on Instagram and I saw a post that, the Redwood City Library Board picks. And so I thought, oh, yeah, we haven't updated our page at all in a while, and maybe we should revisit that. Again, they have a second page, which is just the basics. And this is, you'll note this board also meets at the library, which is interesting. And so I wanted to show you a little bit. This is the, so this is what I saw on Instagram that sparked this interest. It's not just that they have chosen some books to kind of introduce to people, but they're doing it as a way of also sharing a little bit about themselves. And so if you went through the post and clicked on it, it would actually take you to their online catalog. It's the same one as ours. And so there's a staff created list there. So somebody on staff took the information that they provided and created this list. So it's one book per board member, and then you can see at down here as it starts to that this is where they've entered like their take on the book as well as their biographical information. And here's kind of a close up of two of them, and you can see that they all have the same heading so that they know this is part of that library board member. And a little bit about the book and what drew them to it. Some of them are surprisingly very personal, but obviously, you want to share as much as you feel comfortable sharing. It appeared to me, I only have seen this posted once. It appeared to me, though, that they were intending to do this quarterly, which I thought was more realistic. So, and I think that was, that was it. So, I wanted to introduce this topic. We have in the past, as I said, discussed this, and all the board members at that time had submitted content, and we had done not what Redwood City has done, but did include biographical information and a headshot for most of our members to, just to introduce them to the people that they're representing. So
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off.
Any questions for Shayla?
Yeah, do you maintain the webpage, Shayla, if we wanted to submit some, like,
I maintain
Something.
one of them.
one of them? Okay.
So the page that has your names on it, that is outside the libraries section of the website. So that's not something I'm able to directly edit. However, I found something out of date on there. It said Library and Recreation Services, and so I reached out to our Information Services division, and the staff there were happy to help me with that. So we can certainly add content or make changes.
So if
it's
we
a little
want to
easier if it's within the library sphere, because we can directly do that, but I can put in requests.
So to submit like a bio or something about just who we are, that would go through you?
I would take it and
Or-
kind of massage it and then ask them to add it, yeah. If we wanted to do it on that same page.
Got it.
Yeah, because I believe that if, where all our names are, for our trustees, you put our titles, and then it would make it more professional looking on the page. Because right now, if you kind of look at it, that, and you're like, okay,
There's not a huge amount of information there.
Yeah, and do not put your personal email on there. They did that. They do that on the planning commission. I'm telling you, I cannot tell how many emails I got every single day.
There's bots that will scrape websites for those sorts of information. So it's, yeah.
Okay, so any other questions for Taylor? Angie?
I think, it would be nice to have, all our bio, like nothing too in-depth, but when I first joined, I was asked to submit a short, one paragraph and, professional photo of myself. And so I do think that I still like that concept. I like how you can click on Dr. Lex's and then, find some information out about him. I agree, no phone numbers or emails. just to keep our sanity within our inboxes. But I also even like the, recommended books and little personal touches to that too. So maybe that's something we could all discuss. But I do think that we were all chosen because, we would be good representations for our communities. And so I think that the pictures and the short bios would add a nice touch and kind of.
Right, because it'll make the community feel more open to it.
Yeah, I really like that idea of people's favorite books, whether it's like quarterly that you submit something that you read or, what made you, whether it's an author or a book, or I saw the woman who had American Gods from Neil Gaiman, and I was like, oh, I would like her. But I mean, I think it gives a personal touch about who we are, and like even the banned books. I think it just gives something more to the library, because I feel like I try and sell the library to everyone. Go to the library, check out a book, read.
Okay,
Can I have one more? I want to know, is it possible to also do like music playlists or favorite like music you listen to as well?
I would think so. I mean, we do circulate CDs within the library. So for the book list that I showed you for Redwood City, all of those books obviously are owned by at least one or probably many libraries within the peninsula. So that we're able to create that list because we have those items in the collection. So it's in the catalog. But if it's music that we have in the catalog, we absolutely could do music. Yeah, it doesn't have to just be books. Just things in the catalog.
Dr. Lewis.
I certainly think it's a good idea for us to reach out to the community by sharing some of our own information
Right.
and making each one of us more accessible and, in a sense, personal, should someone want to, contact us directly. I also would be happy to volunteer to help anyone develop a statement or a little biographical blurb, if that would be useful. And I remember when I first did mine, I really based it on what I saw on other library websites in terms of sort of the type of content. Whether it was professional background or a little history or personal motivation or whatever it was. So, I certainly think that would be a great thing for us to do.
Yeah. Thanks for offering that, Bill.
Certainly.
Yeah, I mean, for some of us who get that block in our head, like, okay, what am I going to write? I need ideas.
It's helpful
Bill would be
too.
great for that.
Keep a
Writer's block.
consistency, a cohesive presentation as well. Yeah, thank you.
Certainly.
Does the board wish to maybe start with the biographies and then maybe revisit the recommended reads at the next meeting, or are you feeling ambitious?
I think that's a
idea.
good idea.
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah,
And we
Let's
could
start
do
with
the
milestones.
headshots as well. That's a pretty simple thing. We can actually take care of that with the phone in a meeting next time, or,
Or just,
I'll dress a little differently maybe. But
or just get one off your Facebook thing and just put it on there. Okay,
super.
Okay, so any other questions? Okay, so let us move on to trustees report, community engagement.
So we didn't have anything from agenda building, but this had been a perennial item on the trustees report, and so I just added it back in case anyone wanted to report out on anything they did.
Okay, so that's, I don't know, okay. No, go ahead.
I didn't really engage the community today, but I did happen to go to the Westlake branch, and I meant to send something out earlier, but I'll follow up tomorrow or the next day. When I was there, I was reminded of the terrible roof problem. We've talked about that before, but I actually took a couple of pictures, which I'll share with the board. And because I don't know how many of you guys get down to the Westlake branch, and you'll get an idea of what they have been dealing with and how they're making do as well as possible. But the other thing that I ran into was and I can't, Shayla, you're going to have to help me with the title of this. What are the little kits that we provide for parents to take home and read?
We Read Together kits?
The We Read Together kits, yes. I saw them there, and it looked to me like there were quite a few. So I asked one of the librarians whether or not these were getting used, and she said, oh, yes, absolutely. They're very popular. And, that was good to hear.
Yeah, well, and I think such is the nature of materials for young children too, is they go through a lot of materials, which is why the library is so valuable at that age. But yeah, the tablets are kind of the same thing. The playaway tablets that we have, where a family will just want to check out every single one of them. I know I was actually just told that we're running low on replacement bags, so I'll have to reorder. And I think that was a grant-funded project, and I think it's something we probably want to continue and expand from within the regular budget.
The only thing I was wondering about is, does the content of the bag change on some sort of a schedule, so that if a parent checks it out, goes through all of the books, does that mean it's kind of like a one and done, or can they come back in 3 months and find some new selections?
So they're themed, and there's
I saw
it's
that.
mostly the books, but there's a kit with also some information to help the family working with the books together with their kids. So the content doesn't change, but there's different themes, and we had discussed, because people had probably checked out all of them, and then they go back and start fresh again. But we'd like to add some additional ones into the rotation. Just
Okay,
yeah,
thank
it
you.
was successful, I think, as a grant.
Yeah, I think I will start making a visit to the Westlake branch. That's the only library I have not inspected yet, so I'll probably do it this week. So, okay, so next on the agenda is announcements and communications. So Peninsula Library System United Against Hate Week Author Series. Bam!
That's me. Hold on, I've got more online content.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully I have these. Oh, I do not have these in order. I'm so sorry. So there's United Against Hate Week. So United Against Hate Week is one of those peninsula-wide programs that we do periodically. All the members of the Peninsula Library System contribute financially, and it kind of rotates also contributing with staff, which is probably more precious. And so we made some changes to one of the other programs, kind of reduced the ambition of one of the other programs to make room for this, because a lot of cities on the peninsula are interested in celebrating United Against Hate Week, because, in response to events. So this was a group of children's librarians that work together. They actually also are doing one author visit. We are doing them by Zoom, which is not always as equally engaging as an in-person event, but it does allow everyone to participate without having to travel, because we're not a tiny county, and so people in Daly City might not want to drive down to Redwood City, for example. So it's a trade-off. You'll see the theme obviously was United Against Hate, and so that's coming up. You'll find that information on our website or on our social media. You can register at unitedagainsthatepls.brownpapertickets.com. And I think I put these in the wrong order. One more back. The next item I had for just announcements was related. This is just a matter of business. Interlibrary loans with the San Mateo Community College District. For anyone who wasn't aware, The Peninsula Library System, our members are all of the public libraries in San Mateo County, but also the community college libraries. Unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately for them, there was a statewide effort to get all the community college libraries onto a community college catalog some years back. They previously had all their materials in our catalog, and it was seamless, effortless for people at the community college library to borrow from us and vice versa, place holds. It has been it's not so much effort, but it is definitely not seamless, and it's something that we're finding people are not necessarily doing that often. However, we do want to remind people that they can request items from the community college and have them delivered to the library. We had previously had an online subscription service for that, and we were finding cost benefit that was not a worthwhile thing, and so we're doing a more manual thing where you would go to our catalog or from our website, click on request community college items, and fill out an online form, and it sends an email. So it works. And so we are still providing that access and that most importantly, that sharing. And then also I had a small staffing update. We've had, there's always a little bit of turnover, but 35 years with us. After 35 great years, Richenda, one of our library assistants, has retired, a much-deserved retirement. And we had another person who had been with us not nearly as long, who needed to do something else due to family reasons. And so we will be having a couple of new staff coming in, so you'll see that. And then I just wanted to share with you a couple of upcoming events. Here's another one of these peninsula-wide items or programs that we offer. This is called San Mateo County Reads, and our very own Sarah Spencer, our youth services librarian, is on this committee. It's actually not just the libraries working together, but also working with the County Office of Education. And this year they've decided to do younger grades and middle grades author. And again, they will be online. We do schedule them and promote them so that we hope that whole classes can participate in these, but it's, of course, because we are public libraries, open to the public. And our theme this year, there's a different theme each year, is around climate justice and ecological concerns. And we also have some fun upcoming STEM programs. This is a grant-funded program. This is the NIFTY grant, NASA Inspires Futures for Tomorrow's Youth. And we have contracted with the lovely people at Peopleology. And so they will be doing a fabric dyeing program and something where they're studying hieroglyphs and how the ancient Mesoamericans, approached astronomy and mathematics. So this is going to be fun and educational. This is very unlike everything else we do because you have to register. You can register just by calling. That's fine. But we do need people to register due to the limits on the supplies that we have. And then I don't know, I don't think anyone made it from here to the last taste of Top of the Hill, but it was hoppin'. It was a lovely program. I'm glad it came because it was like they needed some hands. So that was on October 11th at the John Daly Library. And there's one more. This is, again, another grant-funded program, and it's free food. So we have 4 other restaurants, different from the ones that we had on October 11th, coming November 5th. We're hoping, I understand these are small businesses, and so often the owners and the restaurateurs are not able to leave their business and come to the library. So, but we did get their food, and a lot of people enjoyed it. It was a very large turnout. So, if you missed it and you regret it, please come November 15th. I think it really accomplished that goal of bringing community together. Everyone was sitting at tables and talking. It was really wonderful. And I think that was it.
Okay, are there any questions for Chayla? She's smiling at you.
What time do you all usually have that event, or what time did you guys have it the last time?
The event started at 5 last time.
Oh, okay, so like dinner time. Yeah.
Yeah. We, at that particular location, we do tend to do Wednesday evening things. Wednesday is the day that they're open later in the evening. It seems to work well. The turnout was very healthy, but I would say even more impressive because they're doing construction on Hillside. It's
Oh, yeah, it's
quite chaos.
Yeah, it is chaotic. Took me a while to, get to
Yeah.
a certain spot. Okay, anything else for Chayla? Okay, so we went over the announcements and communications. Now we are at agenda building for next meeting. Any suggestions from my fellow trustees?
Oh, I do have, sorry, I'm circling back, and a
No.
little announcement. I've been doing, I'm pretty big on community work and tying the bank back to it. And they were really happy, with the amount of hours that I put in as a manager in getting team member engagement with community. So they gave me, and I have the email. I should have read it, but I just got the email for an approval for a small grant for DCPLA. So they're giving, it's either, I have to read it, but it's either $500 or up to $1,000, for any project that they would like to fund. So that's just some exciting news. It really was unexpected, so that's something to look forward to. And I've connected with Trisha and Victoria already on it, so that's exciting.
No, that's fantastic. That's good. That's a great news. Great to hear. Yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
At the last meeting, we were talking about AEDs, and I asked if Narcan was in the libraries, and Jayla reported that no, we don't have it. I gave that some more thought and realized that I don't know anything about opioid addiction or abuse in San Mateo County, or how widespread Narcan use is. And so I contacted the County Department of Health and spoke to a couple of different people, and they would be very happy, it sounds like, to either have a person make a virtual or an in-person presentation on opioid abuse in San Mateo County and the use of Narcan. And I'd like to recommend that for the agenda for next month.
Okay. I approve that. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyone else? Or-
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I kind of want to see, like, are we doing anything for November in regards to certain awareness for certain things? I guess that's recognized for the month. I was trying to look up some things, and like one of the things I saw was like Native American Heritage Month and Alzheimer awareness. So I was just kind of interested in that.
We don't currently have any programs planned, but we often will do either a display and or an online recommended reading list to recognize one of those months.
All right.
I can check and see if any of the staff have one lined up.
And then I had like one more thing. I kind of want to see if there's if the libraries have or are doing anything to kind of just give more context to like what's going on in the news today, like globally. Yeah. So I'm interested if our libraries are doing anything or are doing stuff already, like in regards to what's going on already in the news, like globally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We have not had anything planned at this point. I can see what other libraries are doing. It's such it's happening in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a good thing to point out.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Me just to keep everything updated.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
No, thank you. All right, since there's no others, guess we'll just adjourn the meeting. Okay,
I move that we adjourn. the meeting.
okay. Second. Okay. All right. So for the meeting for Tuesday, October 17th, 2023 is adjourned.